This is B, and welcome to the A Knit Soul podcast. This episode this week is going to be really quick because I have so much to do, but I did want to have an episode for you on time. Unfortunately, the show notes will be late this week because I can't do those until tomorrow evening. But let's get into works in progress. First, my color affection. I worked on it a little bit. I have one more 4-row repeat to do before I can add in the second color. Then I have the Ona shawl, which I finished the knitting, but I still have a ton of fringe to cut out. Oh, that's the wrong side. And of course, I have to block it before I can add the fringe. But you're supposed to cut like 430 8-inch pieces of fringe, which is a lot. The Sweet William hat, I've done some more on the ribbing, but not much. And then I started another baby hat, which is a mess right now, but I'm hoping it'll be a size for a 1-year-old. So a little bigger, I added more stitches. And then last but not least, I've been working some more on my sister's sock, and there's the marker to see how much I did. So a little bit. And no finished objects. I have not even touched my mother's sweater. I haven't touched my spinning wheel. So what's next? Okay. Explorations. Well, first, before that, let me tell you about two threads I'm adding on the Ravelry group. The first one is the self-love, show the love thread. And what that is I want to sort of spread some positivity. And the way we do that is share a picture or a photo or some new technique you did, or something you finished, something you're proud of. It doesn't have to be knitting. And also, in the same post, earburn someone on Ravelry and say, I'm proud of so-and-so for doing this. Now, when you do that, don't share any photos or link directly to their projects or anything for privacy reasons, but you can say, I'm proud of whoever for their, making a sweater when they've never made one before or something like that. And that will be open through May, and there will be some love spread at the end for the people who participate, and hopefully a lot of you will participate in that. And I think it'll be good to take a moment and say, what am I proud of and what do I want to share, as well, in preparation for the June knit along, which will be a gifted. I haven't come up with a nice title, but basically it's where you're finally going to use yarn that you've been given. Unfortunately, when you receive yarn from people who don't knit, they often don't know what or how much to get you, and so sometimes you'll end up with just one ball or something that's really nice, but you're not sure what to do with it, and just kind of languishes. I have a few like that. I have a 25-gram ball of mohair, and I just never took the time to buy another 25 grams, so I'd really have something to do with it. But I do have a project in mind, and the preparation thread for that will be sharing one scheme, so 25 or 50-gram projects. And when you share the pattern, please say if it's for a special type of yarn like mohair or cashmere, and say what weight the yarn is and the yardage estimate from the pattern. And I will compile a list, and that will be at the beginning of the thread for the knit along next month, hopefully to help people come up with ideas. And at the end of that, I will give someone the pattern that they linked, or if they don't want that, then they can choose one. And I also will be giving away um, some yarn. It's actually in my D-stash right now. It's some like mohair Angora alpaca yarn. Um, that's really interesting, but I just never um, took the time to figure out what I could do with it. It's about 360 yards. I bought it at a time when I didn't really know sort of how much yarn minimum was necessary to do any sort of project. So that's that, and those might not be up when this is posted on Sunday, but will definitely be up Monday afternoon. Next is explorations. This week is not about knitting, it's about time management, which it can be used for knitting or housework or anything that's not work, but I find it really useful. It's called the Pomodoro Technique, and I've been using this for over a year now. And the basic premise of it is you have a list of tasks, and each task you spend no more than 2 hours at a time on. During that 2 hours, your time is set into 25-minute intervals, with in between the 4 25-minute intervals, you take a 5-minute break. After the fourth, you take a 15 to 20-minute break. Now, of course, that's more than 2 hours, but the idea is that you're spending about 2 hours of work. During your Pomodoro, which is a 25-minute section, you're supposed to focus completely on the task you're doing. Ideally, you wouldn't even stop to drink water or stop to do something else. No email, no internet. Just focus completely on the task. And then during the 5-minute break, you're supposed to dissociate. So ideally, say you are working on the computer, get up and walk around, or just stare into space, or something like that. And the idea is to practice helping you focus longer and become more efficient. And I find that it is really helpful for me, especially when I have a lot to get done. I find that things take less time than I think they will take. And I find that I'm able to work longer. So normally, if I'm not doing a Pomodoro, 8 to 10 hours is the maximum that I can work in a stretch before I'm just and half that time, a lot of that time, of course, is not efficiently spent. But with the Pomodoro, I can do about 12 to 14 hours, and that's the point where I'll say, okay, I need to go sleep or something like that. And not only that, but I get much more done during that time, because it becomes, okay, it's only 25 minutes, then after that I can take a break. After the 4 Pomodoros for 15 minutes, I'll lay down, or I'll go get some tea or something like that. And so it becomes a motivator to focus. So usually what I do during my 5-minute breaks is I'll have something like this, and I'll do a row, or that's how I did. Let's see, where is it? It's on this side. So that's how much I did this last week, just stopping during the Pomodoros and just do a row, or do a portion of a row during the 5 minutes. And what I use as a timer, there's one on the internet, which I will link to. It's just a JavaScript website, just really simple. And on my phone, I use this app called Pomodoro. And I have an Android, but I'm sure there are Pomodoro timers for iPhone as well. And it's backwards, I know, I'm so sorry. But it keeps track of how many Pomodoros you've done in a day and how many you've done that week. And the day is how it keeps track of every 4. So it's weird, if you're working at midnight, sometimes you'll miss a Pomodoro, miss a 15-minute break, or it'll be delayed because it starts over right at midnight. And so you start the Pomodoro, and it counts down to 25 minutes. And when you are on the Pomodoro, there is a little tomato in the corner of your screen. Okay, let me not show you how to unlock my phone. And it shows you the amount of time that's left. And when you have a break, it'll notify you, usually with your text message sound. And you can start the break 5 minutes, and then after 4, you'll have a 15-minute break. You can also set a task reminder, which I've never used that feature. You can also change the intervals for your breaks. So you can change your breaks to longer. You can change your Pomodoros to longer. Looks like a maximum of 40 minutes. And it's also really cute. Like, it has little things like when it's like, one time it said, be sure to have a drink and grab food on your Pomodoro break so you don't starve during your Pomodoro. And it's like, tell your colleagues not to bother you while you're on a Pomodoro. Really nice. And I will take and turn off the sync on my phone so emails don't pop up. And I'll sometimes turn it on silent. You can buy that. This is free. You can buy a version which will allow you to control different things on your phone so you can't become distracted by them, but I don't know what that does. I've never tried it. If you are interested in learning more about the Pomodoro technique, you can go to the website, which I will include the link, and there's a free book you can read. It's not that long, so you can get an idea more specifically of the intention of the Pomodoro person. From there, you can also like order a print version of the book or order a Pomodoro timer, which is like the little tomato-shaped kitchen timer, which is where the author got the idea from. But I think it's really useful. I use it for when I'm cleaning too, and it's like crazy how quickly I get things done when I'm like, okay, 25 minutes, I have this goal, go, you know. And it's nice to have something rewarding like knitting that I can do in between working for 25 minutes at a time. So let me know if you use it and you like it. I have some friends and my sister who say that they like it and it's helpful. So yeah. Okay, so as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember, the show notes are on the blog, but they will not be up today. They will likely be up tomorrow afternoon. And I hope you all will tune in next week.